Thanks, comrades. This housing estate actually means quite a lot to me because just down the road was where I spent my last 2 years of high school at Blackwattle Bay. I've taught at Balmain High. I've taught students from public housing estates in Glebe as well. And I'm a lifelong resident of the Inner West. And it means a lot because I don't think that we can allow the Inner West and the inner city to be turned into ghettos of the rich. Woo! In my admittedly short lifetime, I have seen these processes play out in the Inner West. Rental prices skyrocketing year after year. Every time you move houses like I have, the rent goes up for an even smaller place. We see the public schools of this area being cleansed, being cleaned, being sanitized, in order to make clear for the new middle-class gentrifiers that this is a nice, acceptable place to live. And as the previous speaker said, implying that actually public housing residents need to learn from their betters, need these people to set an example for them. What sort of example are the rich fucks setting for us? These are the people burning the planet. These are the people sending us to war. These are the people raking in billions of dollars during a cost of living crisis. We have nothing to learn from people like them.
Woo! Yes.
I'm from Get a Room, which is a campaign started by the National Union of student activists from across Sydney, from across the country. Because right now, as everybody knows, as we see on the news every single day, there is a cost of living crisis, there is a housing crisis, and the Labor Party aren't just doing nothing, they're making it worse. They're making it worse for ordinary people. At the same time as this cost of living crisis and housing crisis is happening, we see them kicking out public housing residents here in Glebe, here in Waterloo, just across a couple of suburbs away. Labor governments on a state and a federal level are doing absolutely nothing for ordinary people.
Yep.
And that needs to change. There's the money for it. They're spending $368 billion on war machines to go to war with China. They're spending $200+ billion on tax cuts, the stage 3 tax cuts for the rich.
Shame.
There's the money in the system to build more public housing. There's money in the system to put rent freezes and to stop rental evictions. There's money in the system to help ordinary people cope, to stop the spiraling cost of living. But Labor are ruling for the rich. And their mates in the RBA, Philip Lowe, did people see his statement the other day? Oh, we just have to work harder. We just have to tighten our belts and deal with it. Well, he jacks up mortgage rates and interest rates and wants to make more people unemployed, wants to drive people into unemployment, into misery. That is the economic policy of the RBA. That is the economic policy of the Labor government. And that's why we need to build a movement in this city, in this country, a movement of students, a movement of workers, a movement of renters, a movement of ordinary people that involves protests, strikes, occupations, green and black bans on demolitions.
Woo!
Because that is how we won last time. That is why there is any existing public housing in the inner city and in the West. It was because of the actions of unions like the Builders Labourers Federation in the 70s and 80s that there is any semblance of a city for ordinary people and not just the rich here in Sydney. So we want to rebuild that sort of movement here, and I think that starts with a really great and excellent rally on June 17, next Saturday, that Action for Public Housing has organised and that Get a Room is co-hosting, because we want to start that. We know that people are angry, but we want to say that there are people to blame, the Philip Lowe's, the Anthony Albanese's, the Jim Chalmers of the world. They are to blame, and we have a solution. We're going to tax the rich, we're going to put freezings on rent, and we're going to build public housing. Because building public housing, taking housing off the market and making it an essential good owned and run by the government, that is the solution to the housing crisis, and that is what we're here to fight for. Homes for people, not for profit. Homes for people,
not for profit.
Homes for people,
not for profit.
Homes for people,
not for profit.
Thanks everyone. See you next Saturday. Keep up the fight.